In between cattle on pasture and the dinner plate, there are some steps in beef production that can be uncomfortable to talk about. The American Meat Institute's Janet Riley says they shouldn't be left out of the conversation, though.
There's research to show that if you give people the correct information up front, even on a subject that's a little difficult to talk about, like slaughter, you can inoculate them against bad information. Because when they see an undercover video, if they've never seen slaughter done right, they have no basis on which to evaluate that activist video. So showing them the facts ahead of time will help them think more critically.
She spoke at the 2013 Feeding Quality Forum in Omaha, urging cattlemen to get involved in sharing their stories with neighbors and friends.
I think there's a real trend. People want to know the source of their food. They want the information. The problem is that trust. They must trust the source of information. And I think that calls for very personal conversation.
How producers approach the subject is important too. People are passionate about their food choices, and one must listen first to hear their point of view.
A lot of times their concerns come from confusion. They're convinced, for example, that cattle that are fed corn are always fed corn and only fed corn, or that cattle spend their entire lives in a feedlot. So we have to not dismiss them and not make them feel stupid for thinking that way. We just need to give them the benefit of our information.
Riley says hitting the web is vital to help educate the next wave of consumers. 96% of Generation Y belongs to some type of social media network.
Social media is critically important. As a mother of two teenagers, I see the changes. I went to journalism school at a time before we even had computers. I still had a manual typewriter, and that was just in the 80s. And now I see kids who are all equipped with iPhones and are tweeting and checking Facebook, and that's the source of their information.
A growing challenge? Yes. A growing opportunity? Certainly, Riley says. I'm BJ Scott.